New patch, and we managed to get our best result of the year. 30 out of 30, 7th in the world, and 0 Sunday games played. I'm already getting a lot of messages on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, etc, etc, all asking me, did you use something different? Have you changed your custom tactics? If you have, can you make a new video that shows what you're using? And the answer is, of course I can, boys. Look at me. Do I look like a greedy person? Of course I can share the wealth. Of course I can. Here we go. I'll show you what I've changed, why I've changed, and yeah, I'll show you. I mean, the team actually hasn't actually changed at all. It's the same team that from my last video. Actually, no, I got red Mbappe instead of gold Mbappe, but you get the gist. If you haven't actually went and watched my old custom tactics video, I think it was only about maybe posted about what, a few weeks ago, a month ago max. Then I suggest you do so, because I'm still to this day getting a lot of positive feedback about it, and it's still getting a lot of people telling me that it's really improved their results. It's just basically I've changed formation. We all know about the meta. We all know about the low depth overload ball side meta, and it's just killing me a little bit. I think with the 4-2-3-1, with everyone playing so defensively, it's just a little bit hard to break people down, score goals, get the goals that you deserve. It's probably what cost me in the qualifiers. I got like round 10 of the qualifiers, got beat eventually, and it was a similar story, dominating the games, but I just couldn't get the goals that I deserved. So I decided to mix it up, try something new, and this is what I used. In game, I go straight into the 4-4-2 flat. So it's similar to last time, same back four and keeper. We have Mbappe left mid instead of Lam. We have Neymar right mid instead of Ram. We have the two CMs who are now, same thing, but now they're not CDMs, they're now CMs. And we have Messi. Instead of being a cam, he's now a left striker. Eusebio's obviously a right striker. So, tactics with the 4-4-2 flat then. Defensive style, as always, apart from in the latter stages of the game when I'm getting beat, it will always be unbalanced. It's just pretty much the perfect thing. You can still play with a bit of high pressure, but your team will still drop in when your opponent's got past the halfway line. Width, as always, would never touch this apart from the latter stages of the game. Always on 5. Depth. Now, remember last time, my last video, pretty much my rule for formations was, if you have a CDM/CDMs, plural, if you have CDMs, I would use 6 depth. If you use a formation with no CDMs, aka the 4-4-2, I would always use 4 depth. I think it's just because, one of the main reasons is I don't tell my CMs to stay back, as you're going to see in the next part of the video. So I think the 4 depth, I think if you use any higher than 4, you're going to get counted, especially when you're committing as many bodies forward as I do. Long ball, bit of an interesting one. I mean, I've spent the majority of the last couple of years since they changed the tactics into this setup using balanced and dabbling with possession every now and then. Obviously fast build up in at the end of the game, but it doesn't really count. Long ball, starting to like it, if I'm honest. I'm starting to like it. I think I can see why quite a few of the other pros have been using this. It's kind of like fast build up, but a little bit less suicidal in the sense that, like, your strikers and your wingers will go for, like, they'll want the ball in behind, they'll want the long ball, but your midfielders won't. With fast build up, everyone just goes and stands up front, and it's just stupid. But yeah, you'll also find with long ball, if you hit your strikers' feet, if you hit your wingers' feet with a long ball, you'll get some really good AI attacking runs in behind, which is, let's face it, that's not something you can say very often on FIFA 20. The attacking AI, for the most part, is diabolical. So yeah, I seem to be getting some pretty good runs, is what I'm trying to say, with the long ball. Attacking width would never change this for any formation, any situation. Pretty pointless. Players in the box, same as with the 4-2-3-1 in my last video. I'm not telling anyone to stay back apart from my defenders, so any higher than 4, and I think we're just tempting fate to get counter-attack, corners and free kicks. You've heard it all before. Take them short, they're useless. Always need to be on 2. So, instructions. As always, every keeper, every formation comes across as a sweeper keeper. Not sure if it really does anything, but placebo effect. Nothing on the centre-backs. Stay back while attacking on the full-backs for every formation, apart from the ultra-attacking where, you're going for broke at the end, you're throwing everything forward. Nothing on the wingers. The comeback, just fine. You don't need to tell them to come back. If you tell them to come back, actually, they come back a little bit too far. They'll come back on their own if you just leave them on balance. The centre mids, nothing on them either. Nothing at all. Not even cover centre. I think a cover centre, you seem to be able to get counter-attacked if you have them on cover centre. Like, I don't know how it is. Like, the opposition seems to be able to find their strikers' feet a little bit easier if you have it on cover centre. It's like your centre mids won't actually mark the space. They won't actually cut the passing lanes if you have it on cover centre. I know still a lot of the other pros do use it. Not for me though. Yeah, wingers, like I said, nothing. And in fact, the full team, nothing. I did start last weekend with these two and getting behind. When I started to find people who were parking the bus, I was struggling because my strikers were always looking to get behind. With them unbalanced, you can trigger the runs yourself, or they'll just make good AI attacking runs if you hit the other one's feet. I just find it's much easier to attack if you have them unbalanced, basically. Nothing much more to be said on that. So that meant the fact that I was starting attacking this week. This actually meant that with the new patch, 43-1 became my my defensive formation, my go-to formation if I was defending a lead. You know, the last 20-25 minutes, if I was playing against a pro and I was 1 goal up, you know, with a bit of time to go. Not quite my ultra defensive, but this is just what I went to. You know, if someone was getting a few chances against me. Defensive style, as always, balanced. Width, as always, balanced. Oops. Depth. Last video, third time lucky. And like I said earlier in this video, if I do have CDMs, I would usually have this on 6 depth, but this isn't my 0-0 formation. This at the moment, this week it isn't my 0-0 formation. So if I was using this from the start, that would be on 6. Because it's not, because this is a defending the lead formation. I have to have this on 4, just for a little bit more solidity and to stop, you know, the risk of counter attacks. Offensive style, as always, unbalanced. Well, not as always, because on my 4-4-2 I'm using long ball, but with a 4-2-3-1, yeah. Because this is a defensive formation with possession, like I've said before in my previous videos, if they're always coming to feet, you're going to struggle to get out. If they're always going, if you're hitting long ball or fast build up, they're going too far away and it's hard to get out. So balance gives you the perfect mix of, you know, to feet and long balls to help you get out when you manage to win possession back. Players in the box, as always. Even in this formation, I'm not telling anyone to stay back, so apart from the wing, apart from the full back. So again, 4 is the perfect number for that. Corners and free kicks, 4, and yeah, I wouldn't recommend starting on that. I would, if you're going to start on this, I would recommend this 6, maybe that a long ball. But as that's not the case for me, I'm using this as a defensive formation this week. This is the one for me. So what instructions am I using with this then? Same as always for the keeper, same as always for the back 4. These two. Again, I can't remember if I had these on cover centre last time. Don't have these on cover centre at the moment. I fell out with cover centre. I'm finding that cover wing, I know it's, if you read the description here, defend the open wing if a teammate isn't marking. So don't read this. Don't you look at cover wing and think that your CDM is going to spend the time out on the wing, not blocking the balls into the striker's feet. That's not true. It's just probably poorly worded. If you read the description, they only defend the open wing. Basically, you've been caught out with your fullback high up the field. So yeah, cover wing's the one for me. Same for the rest of the team actually. Balanced for the striker. It's been my view since instructions were a thing, pretty much. I've said it many times before. You want to keep your tactics and your instructions as close to default as possible. So try and leave as many of these on balanced, as many of these on basic, I should say, as possible. Try and leave as many of these values on 5 or as default as possible. Try and leave some balance if you can. The more balanced your tactics, the more natural your game will feel, the better runs you get, the more help from the game you'll get. That's my opinion, and it's worked well for me for a few years now. So, seeing out the game for the final few minutes, or maybe final 10-15 minutes against a pro, I would use this. Again, no drop back, useless. Balance with low depth is absolutely fine. There's no need for drop back this year. Width, knock it down for 1. We all know about the overload ball side meta now. So this will just, if you knock this down to 4, just give you a little bit extra of overload ball side. Depth, self-explanatory. 2, offensive style, as always, as I've explained before. Long ball, fast build up, too hard to get out. Possession, too hard to get out. Balanced, perfect mix. Width, as with every formation, default 5. Players in the box, just knock it down 1 from the regular amount of 4. It's all just again about minimising the risk of getting countered if you do manage to get yourself up the pitch with this formation in the final few minutes. Corners and free kicks, self-explanatory. These 3 are all just about minimising risk. So what we looking at for this then? Same as always for the keeper, same as always for the back 4. Obviously Mbappe shouldn't be there. We should ignore that. Cover centre I do actually have on for these because we play so much low. Because I'm playing with such low depth. You do want these in the centre, like no matter what, because as you're going to see with the wingers and with the cam, they're all set to come back. so there's almost certainly not going to be any space on the wing to defend. So cover centre I would have on in this situation. Come back on the wingers. That's actually just better change that just whilst I'm here. And now, no, this is gonna. There we go. Right. So yeah, and again, I even come back on defence on the strike. It won't really do anything, but just give you a little bit extra of attacking work rate. So yeah, so then I've got one final thing to show you, and this is my new go-to formation. We're getting beat in the final 10-15 minutes of the game, and it is the 4-2-3. No, it's not. It's the 4-3-2-1. Pretty similar plan and pretty similar instructions and tactics to what I was using before, which is the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. It's pretty similar in the game plan that you just want to get the ball, get it forward as fast as you can. Yeah, I'm going to show you what I'm being using with this, and it is pressure and heavy touch. Like I said in my last video, pretty pointless using constant pressure because pressure and heavy touch will kind of preserve the pressing until the right moment. But if you do want to just be pressing non-stop, you can just use down on the D-pads and then use team press with head pressure and heavy touch, and that is basically just constant pressure. So there's no need to have constant pressure on. With knock it up 1 to 6, you're trying to cover much of the pitch as possible. You're trying to force them to make mistakes. Yeah, usually, I mean, 5 or 6 wouldn't make that much difference. Depth, pretty obvious, 10. At this point, we're not bothered about getting counter-attack. This is it, this is the last hurrah. We want it. We want the ball back. We want to score. Either we want them to score or we want us to score. We don't want them to just be able to hold the ball easily. Fast build-up. The only situation I would ever use fast build-up. The minute you get the ball, you want as many men forward as possible. As you're going to see in my instructions in a minute, I'm going to have the front 3 stay forward and wait in front. I'm going to have the midfielders told to get forward. So fast build-up, it's self-explanatory. You win the ball, you turn over possession, you want everyone flying forward for the final moments. Attacking with, as usual, do not shoot, just ever waste of time. Players in the box, self-explanatory. You want as many bodies forward as possible. And corners and free kicks, you might think, why aren't these on 5? Because crossing the ball is useless. Keep these on 2, play it short, try and work it in the box and try and get that finish and smash it into the near post. Yeah, last thing to show you then is the instructions. Same as always for the keeper. However, join the attack on the 2 full-backs. Pretty obvious why. You want that extra pass, especially with the 4-3-2-1. You'll find if you're working it into your front 3, these will make an overlapping run. Sometimes you can slot them in down the side and get the cross in. Centre mid of the 3 midfielders, nothing. The RCM and the LCM get forward, just to go with this the fast build up. Basically, you just want everyone forward. You want all the AR runs. You want as many options as possible to try and get that last gasp goal. The front 3, stay forward and get them behind on the 2 wide forwards, the left forward and the right forward. You want these, you want all three of this front 3 to stay forward, but you want these 2 especially to get in behind. And this is the interesting one. I have the central striker on target man. I think you'll find in a situation like this where you're pushing so many men forward, you're going to find your opponents pushing so many men back. So if all 3 of that front 3 are all trying to get in behind, it's hard to find that killer ball. So target man, perfect thing. You'll have these 2 running for the ball in behind. You'll have these running for the ball in behind. You'll have these running for the ball in behind. So you need that main man in the middle to feed it into his feet and find the decisive pass, the decisive moment to get you back into the game. I think that covers everything. Yeah, I think that's all formations and tactics, instructions that I've covered. So yeah, give that a go. Give the 4-4-2 a go. Let me know if it worked for you, as well as my last custom tactics video worked for you all. I'm still thrilled, to be honest, by how much my 4-2-3-1 instructions and tactics from my last video actually help people. It's good to see, and I've had a lot of positive feedback on that video. So yeah, give this a go. As usual, if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section down below. And yeah, just let me know if it's worked for you. Let me know your results. And yeah, any questions at all, hit me with them. Yeah, you want to see more videos like this, drop a like, subscribe, and I'll probably see you in a day or two's time, hopefully for some pretty decent future stars rewards. So yeah, good luck, and see you all later.